We start today, and if you guys have been watching, we have broke down top 5 at every position, starting on defense, going to offense, and we save quarterbacks for last. So listen, I hope there's no fights. Sonny, if you're here, this guy comes over the table. You better jump in because there's going to be some debates here. And go ahead, give us your top 5 QBs out there. But I feel like Rafa and I should be last.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Okay.
Luke?
I'll go first.
Okay, Luke, go ahead.
All right, so honorable mention, I got like a tie between Johnny Unitas and Peyton Manning.
Okay.
Number 5,
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers.
Wow.
Number 5, Aaron Rodgers. If he wins the Super Bowl, he's cracking top 3.
Who just someone just said today or yesterday that Aaron Rodgers
We're already getting hot.
Hold the fucking.
someone just came out today and said that Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback of all time. He's
That was all right.
I
That was
that.
Arian Foster.
Yeah.
And there's a lot now. There's a lot of people that say that, and I think if you look at the body of work, like as far as his talent, should be the best. Could be the best.
He's
ever.
the most talented quarterback of all time.
Obviously,
no doubt.
I think so.
Just what he does on his feet, how he throws the ball, how he picks up the grass.
Go ahead. Let's go on. Proceed with your list.
Number 4, John Elway. Just simple top 5 quarterback right there.
Listen, you get no arguments here, Papa, with that one.
I got a little bit. Go ahead.
Number 3, Montana. I got Montana.
Wow. Upset special.
Who is your number 2?
Luke, I'm just giving you a warning. If you say
who is your number 2?
If you see Patrick Mahomes, I might
at number
kick
2.
You out.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No.
Patrick Mahomes is on my list, just so you know.
No, he's not on my list.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, the second coming.
Who's number 2?
Dan Marino. Yeah. Marino's the greatest quarterback to never win a Super Bowl. If you flip Marino and Elway, I think people look at Marino in a whole different light, and they look at Elway.
Dude, I struggled. I'll tell you when.
All right.
Okay. Go ahead. And then number one, Tom Brady.
Brady.
Yeah.
Okay, Eddie Money. Go ahead, Eddie Money.
All right, number 5, I have Dan Marino.
Okay.
Number 4, I have Johnny Unitas. Number 3, Peyton Manning. Number 2, Joe Montana. And number 1, Tom Brady.
I have a similar list, kind of.
You want to go first?
I'll go first. I'll go first.
Okay.
I struggled with my list because
it's hard. It's difficult.
It was a tough list. It was very tough.
Yeah, so I went overall, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, Marino for his time was amazing. No doubt about it.
Well, no, hold on. I hate to interrupt you. It's your list, but you said in his time.
100% in his time. His accolades are not even close to my guys in the top 5.
Okay.
Not even close.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, I'm letting you know. Bring it.
Okay. So I just lost my train. Go ahead. Start over again.
All right. So my honorable mentions are Dan Marino and John Elway.
Oh.
Those are my honorable mentions.
Yucky poo-poo caca.
I'm gonna read you John Elway's numbers.
Okay.
He won a Super Bowl twice. He was an MVP once. He was only an All-Pro 3 times. By the way, never a first-team All-Pro. Never. Not once. He never led the league in passing. That's a guy you're going to put in the top 5? Are you kidding? Here's my number 5. My 5 is Aaron Rodgers. Super Bowl champ, 4-time first-team All-Pro, 4-time MVP. The most valuable motherfucker in the league.
Yeah.
4 times. All right? All-decade team, of course. But all these guys have been all-decade. My number 4 is Patrick Mahomes.
Oh.
I hate you.
That's fine. But he hasn't turned 28 yet. He'll be 28 in a couple weeks. 2-time Super Bowl MVP. 2-time Super Bowl champion. 2-time league MVP. Most career... He has the best passer rating in the postseason history. Okay? In history. And he averages 38 touchdown passes a season, by the way.
In this era.
He's phenomenal. He's phenomenal. You cannot say, and he's 27.
You know my argument.
He's going to be 28.
He's a system quarterback under Andy Reid.
Anyways, my number 3 is Peyton Manning.
Okay.
Peyton Manning you know the act. 10-time All-Pro, 14-time Pro Bowler, all-time lead. Holds the record, single season, 55 touchdown passes. The records were there. Brady took them and Breeze afterwards. But my number 2 is obviously Joe Montana, 4-time Super Bowl champ, 3-time Super Bowl MVP, and then Tom Brady, 7-time world champion, and a 5-time Super Bowl MVP.
Yes.
As well as a league MVP as well. But those guys, Elway never won one. He never won a league MVP. He never led the league in passing.
Man, I'm trying to think. Joe Montana in that era. Who else?
Dude, he wasn't even first team All-Pro.
But you got to think about, did they change the game? So, like, at the time, Marino was changing the game. Like, what Marino was doing, you watch any documentary, you watch his highlights. Like, he changed the game.
I think he's amazing. But
not to be in your top 5?
No.
That's crazy.
Because I believe that Patrick Mahomes, when it's all said and done, he will be put it this way, if Mahomes has 4 Super Bowls,
You put him as a GOAT?
oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, because of what you see, what he does on the field. Last year, he loses his number 1 receiver. He still wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
His defenses usually aren't very good. This year, he had one guy stand out on defense. Bro, how many points did they allow in the Super Bowl? 30-something points. He still won the fucking game.
I mean, Mahomes' year this year was
fucking
ridiculous.
Jags almost fucking beat him in the AFC. Almost
beat him. The Bills almost beat
means a
him.
loss.
The Raiders almost went to the Super Bowl and beat Brady. The Raiders almost had
Well,
a
you're
lineman.
talking about his career and him being, if he almost wins more and more
Bro,
and more.
I'm just telling you, he already has 2. He already has he's number 1 in passer rating in the playoffs. He's amazing.
Well,
There's just no doubt about it.
I'm going to say a stat that no one's heard of, and I'll give you my top 5. All right? This was very difficult for me. Honorable mention, Aaron Rodgers. Okay? That's my honorable mention. Let's go number 5, Dan Marino, the purest passer, I think, of all time. And here's a stat that you don't hear, and I was kind of shocked to see it, but Marino has the record for the lowest sack percentage of any quarterback of all time.
3%.
Oh, I guess you've heard it. And in 1988, he broke a record that's never been broken. 1% sack percentage. And listen, if you guys know in that era, Dan Marino was not a dink and dunker.
No.
He was throw it down the field, 15-yard digs, and we have still never seen a release. I'm sorry, not Mahomes, not even Elway, but he had the quickest release of any quarterback, and that's why he's my number 5, purest passer. He had just the right amount of asshole in him, right? And he did have good O-lines.
I like Dan. Trust me, I wanted to put him in there.
Yes.
But for me, Rodgers is more accomplished guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
That's just my opinion.
my number 4, Peyton Manning, 18 seasons, 2 Super Bowls, and you didn't say this. He's a 5-time NFL MVP.
Oh, that's right. And I did have that down. But he did 5 times.
That
by the
right
way.
there is kind of silly that I don't have him higher. 5-time.
wild.
That is wild. 5-time NFL.
Rodgers is 4, and you don't have him.
Yeah.
On the list.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, good
it's
point.
right there.
Good point. But, getting back to your thing, Peyton Manning had a rough rookie season, threw a shitload of interceptions. So
Led the league.
Yeah.
Well, and he had a rough go
Still holds the record, right?
for most interceptions of the
Was
season.
it 17?
think so.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
17?
Oh, I thought
and
it
that
was like
team was
20.
garbage.
No, he hit like over 20.
Oh, over
Yeah,
20.
yeah,
I thought it was
20
like
for sure.
23
Yeah.
or
Really?
26. It was like a big number.
And that team,
Dak throws 17.
in the first half. That team was garbage. He hung in there and brought them to a prominent. I mean, if it wasn't for Tom Brady and the Patriots, I mean,
He would have 5 Super Bowls.
Yes.
He would be the one with 7.
Yes.
Yeah, or at least 5.
Yeah. So that's my number 4. Number 3, out of Granada Hills, the Highlander,
John Elway.
Stanford University, John Elway. And maybe in my mind, I watched him as a kid just destroy the Raiders over and over again. When it was 3rd and 17 with John Elway, I would say, fuck. Here we go.
You have the same feeling with Mahomes, right? Yes or no?
A little bit.
Yes or no?
A
3rd
little
and
bit. No,
27?
Third and 12, he's going to get it with his feet. He's going to get it with his
Ask
feet.
Denver how they feel on 3rd and 27 on
Yeah.
Monday Night Football.
So that's my number 3. Number 4, Joe Montana.
Number 2.
2, Joe Montana, 4-0, undefeated in the Super Bowl, 3-time Super Bowl MVP.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just Joe Cool. And he's also a two-time NFL MVP overall. And, of course, Tom's numbers, I don't think Patrick will ever surpass. But I did see something, Rafa, and I had too much pride to send it to you. Because the numbers are shocking. And I hope you don't find it, Eddie. I hope you don't
Fucking
find it.
look it up.
But it is Tom Brady right next to Patrick Mahomes in their first whatever.
Oh, Mahomes' numbers are better. We know that.
They're like ridiculously better than Tom Brady's.
Yeah.
And but let's talk about it. Tom Brady, 649 TDs, holds the record, 251 wins, holds that record, 7 Super Bowls, 5-time Super Bowl MVP, 3-time NFL MVP. I mean, the numbers are just gaudy, ridiculous. And although, like I said, Patrick has a long, long way to go.
I don't know if
another whole, Patrick's been in the league 8.
He's been in the
7
years.
years?
He's played 5 full seasons.
Okay, well, he needs at least another 5.
Right, but if he in another 5, if he wins another 2 MVPs and another 2 Super Bowls, that puts him at 4 MVPs.
Yeah, he just has 3 Super Bowls to go. Listen, that's I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys have your list. Who did we leave out?
Zach has his list.
Zach.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it, Zacharias.
Starting from the bottom at 5.
Rich Gannon.
He has Aaron Rodgers,
All right.
Dan Marino at 4, Mahomes at 3,
Look at that.
What the fruit?
Montana at 2, and Brady at 1.
Bro, what Mahomes does, I know you hate him and his wife and his brother and his helmet and the way he talks.
I'm here.
You can hate all of that.
All of those are facts.
You can hate all of that. You cannot hate the man when he's on that field between those sidelines. He's amazing.
Listen,
And he amazes you every week.
he's very, very good. But about,
Clip all of that.
A month ago, 3 a.m, I couldn't sleep, and I put on NFL Network, and it was Raiders v. Chiefs when Alex Smith was the starting quarterback, and Pat is right there. Pat is doing the clipboard thing at timeouts. I'm like, look at this crazy shit. It was fun to watch.
He's a rookie.
Just to watch him, But Alex Smith was doing this crazy. I mean, he looked like Patrick Mahomes.
Are you out of your mind? In Mahomes' first full season, he threw 50 fucking touchdowns.
That's not impressive, though, anymore.
Are you kidding? 50?
No one touches 50.
Dude,
Dan Marino did it in 82
Guess what?
and threw 48.
Dude, there's 3 guys that have thrown.
48.
There's 3 dudes that have thrown 50. Two of the
Tom
3,
Brady.
and Peyton Manning.
Did
Nope.
Drew Brees didn't do it?
No.
To say it's not impressive, though, Eddie.
Are you kidding?
Okay. I might be exaggerating.
Dude, the only season that he's played that he's thrown less than 30 was the season that he played 14 games, which was in 2019. He's thrown 50, 26, 38, 40.
I mean, to be a starting quarterback in the NFL now, if you don't throw 30 touchdowns, you suck.
Are you kidding? There's 50 guys. There's 20 guys last season that didn't throw 30.
Yeah, they suck.
Well, I don't know about that, but
I mean-
Jalen Hurts didn't throw 30.
No, but he's
probably
fucking
rushed for
scored.
like 12,
yeah,
yeah.
no, more than 12. He had like 18. 18.
But he didn't throw for 30.
He didn't. That's not their offense.
Rodgers probably didn't even throw for 30 last year.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Listen, yeah.
Don't downplay how good Mahomes is.
There's no denying the body of work. I think it's early to put him in the top 5.
He's already guys, his achievement, his regular season accolades already have surpassed John Elway. 2 Super Bowl MVPs, first team All-Pro, 50 touchdown passes. Are you kidding? Are we out of our minds?
I hated John Elway because obviously I was a Raider fan. Hated John Elway. But his 30-yard laser beams in the corner of the end zone, his arm was so impressive. There's stories about him breaking guys' fingers.
He had all the arm strength in the world, but he only threw 300 touchdown passes.
Yeah,
so he threw 300 touchdown passes.
I wish I could say it's because he had good running backs,
but he didn't.
He didn't have good running backs. He
didn't.
Notoriously never had good running backs.
He was never the best player in the league. And you put him in your top 5. Fuck, you put him in the top 3. He was never the best player in the league. At any point in his career, he was never number 1. It was Dan Marino or Joe Montana. He was never. And then when Steve Young started playing, guess who won the MVP of the regular season? Steve Young.
Well, here's the thing with MVP. How often do you win MVP if you're not a top 3 team?
And Aaron Rodgers has won 4. And he's been to one Super Bowl?
But they were always an NFC championship. I mean,
dude, how many times has this guy choked away in the AFC title game?
Who?
Elway.
John Elway? I mean, he also won some, but they were not a very good team. Denver Broncos weren't great. And that's also Dan Marino's thing. They were never
Peyton Manning's teams weren't great either.
They became great. He had some really bad teams.
And he had some really, really bad defenses.
Oh, God, yes. Dwight Freeney.
Really? Well, they had players.
5'8", freaking...
They had Freeney and Mathis and Bob Sanders.
That
was it.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah. And a young Bob Sanders.
Yep.
And that was it. I mean, for me, when I went through it, I had an idea in my head who my top 5 were. I thought, okay, Marino, Elway, Peyton, Montana, Brady. Those are my 5 guys.
Yeah.
And then when you start looking at like, hold the fuck on. This guy didn't even get on a first-team All-Pro in the 80s? Bro, when nobody was throwing the ball? Are you kidding?
It seems hard to believe, but I looked it up, and
he was a 3-time All-Pro.
Yeah,
and it was second team.
9-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah, everybody's a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, but everyone makes a Pro Bowl.
Derek Carr made the Pro Bowl a couple times.
But back then, guys like wanted to go to Hawaii.
I think it was different back then. You're right.
Now no one wants to go to the Pro Bowl.
Now it's like you can get in if you want.
Yeah.
Michael Brown said it's a long way from Mahomes. He said Elway way better than Steve Young. Come on, my God, Rafa.
Are you kidding? Stop being a homer for once. Stop being a fucking homer.
You know what?
And then he goes, Broncos slander, the topic of tonight, or what?
Literally, you're being a total... Listen, John Elway's... I thought when I saw it, and then I said, let me look at this guy's numbers. Let me look at this dude. Let me look at this guy. He's not a top 5 cat.
For like 3 or 4 years, Steve Young was like the best player in the NFL.
92 to 95, Steve Young was the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, he was great.
Guess what? Denver won their Super Bowls. 97, 98.
When
everyone was done.
And that's when they got a good running back and a defense.
Well, and everybody stopped playing.
They didn't win because of John Elway. He was a more of a manager when he won.
He won 1 Super Bowl MVP, and then I think the other one was TD maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I get it. It's an eye test thing for me. It's Elway was a thorn in my side, and I just view him. I just like his physical skills and his arm strength were just like crazy.
I agree. I think the Elway take though is like a Charles Barkley type of deal. Like I got to put Charles Barkley as a top 10 player in the league, or top 10 or a top 3 power forward in the league because you watched him play at that time. There's fucking guys that are way better now if we're looking at the talent. Well, I'm sorry.
And Chuck was a novelty too, because Chuck he's maybe 6'4".
Yeah,
maybe
but
6'4".
If you watch basketball in his area, you're like, oh my God, there's nobody better. Dude, there's like 100 power forwards that are better than him now. That are better now than he was back then.
Yeah.
It's just a different game. I feel it's the same way when we're comparing Elway to fucking Mahomes. Like, there should be no comparison.
So, Michael Brown, what's your top 5 then?
Oh, his is Elway, Joe Montana, Brady.
And Russell Wilson. Freaking God.
Rick Flores also said, Tom Flores changed the game, Rafa. He brought all the Raza to follow the Raiders.
Tommy Flores. Shout out to Tom Flores. First Hispanic to be a quarterback. First Hispanic to win a Super Bowl. First Hispanic to win, to be a head coach. Tom, a lot of things. Raiders are known for being trailblazers. They did a lot of firsts. And
they look like the Portland Trailblazers.
Jim Plunkett, also Hispanic. And Jim Plunkett won one too.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys. Eli won too. Nobody gives a fuck.